Hi guys, welcome back to the channel on a brand new video on Marvel Contest of Champions, and I'm going to do a little video about a champion that I really like. And obviously by the thumbnail you probably guess who it is, but this guy is actually pretty darn amazing. So Mr. Hawkeye, what makes this guy so underrated? Actually, I think a lot of people in the community do actually resonate quite highly with this champion and do go, do you know what? This guy's dug me out of the shit a lot of times, and he does. Especially in like arena, if you're looking at featured against 5 stars, against maybe some difficult content, this guy does dig people out the theoretical shit. So why is that? Well, there's not really much going for him with regards to the attribute side of things. So his critical rating is alright, his critical damage rating is good, block proficiency is good, but his armor is trash. Obviously, he's not going to be the most armored. You can see more flesh on him than most, so obviously the extent of kind of like bleeds and just general damage he's going to take is you're going to see him just die fairly easily. Which is obviously the reason that his synergies are set up in such a way that it's in order to promote armor, with a romance at the bottom with Scarlet Witch at plus a 5% power gain. But obviously the armor side of things does make the character incredibly weak. And I think that's where people will then draw the line at where they use him with regards to in content. So if they're setting up a synergy group and they're kind of going, yeah, I can see myself using these champions of Hulk, Iron Man, Moon Knight, and Scarlet Witch, you would probably say, well, of those that would be really useful is Scarlet Witch and Hulk. So there's not really kind of a gain in armor for the champion. However, you should not feel discouraged using him in questing. Really good kind of like teams can be put in with him. I've seen people use him against the Goldblum challenge and lots of other different content within game. Even go as far as like using him in Realm of Legends. Unfortunately, he doesn't do a huge amount of damage in Realm of Legends, but if you're looking for a champion on this specific thing, then he's your man. And that is Hemorrhage and also the SP1. Two things that make this champion so nice and so brilliant when it comes up to using him in arena, especially like arena. I cannot wait when he's a kind of champion to use in arena. I've got a 5-star version and I've got this 4-star version, but obviously for the purpose of this video, this is Awakened, so we're going to look at that. But yeah, I can't wait till then when he kind of pings up and I get to use him. Now, it doesn't matter if he's awakened based on the fact that you got that SP1. So let's first of all talk signature ability and let's talk about SP1. So signature ability, the extent of bleed. Now this is the disappointing and positive side at the same time. So 25% chance, which is pretty low, like ridiculously low. For this champion, it should be at least 50%. And I don't think that would be unfair to give him that. And that is, it can cause a bleed, obviously based on the awakening and based on the signature level, 9,118. You know, that's pretty tasty over 60 seconds. But only can appear once per fight. Which, if you're kind of going against harder content or anything with regards to reducing down a lot of health, that is where it becomes a little bit disappointing. And I think that's why people don't opt to use them quite so much in things like Realm of Legends or even kind of like harder content, because the aspect of not being able to put more damage in means that when champions have like hundreds of thousands of health, or even higher health like 70,000, it can become a little bit frustrating. But the SP1 does help out a little bit and does make up a little bit for that, in that you get to take max power away, 40% obviously at this particular rank up and this particular starage. So that's pretty cool to see that you can take away a huge amount of power from the champion, and that is the great aspect about Hawkeye. Now, even though I said that we shouldn't use him for Realm of Legends, I'm going to just put him in anyway and just have a little bit of a fight and a little bit of fun with a little bit of a synergy team, and that's kind of built around Quake. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the 4-star or 5-star version, which would be really nice to then see about improvements with regards to the Shield's agents. This one is level 2. Obviously, the levels do go up higher. I think level 3 is the highest. And it is all champions gain a plus 12% ability accuracy. So what we're going to try and get is kind of an improvement on that 25% and kind of improve it a little bit. Now, we'll see how that kind of happens. I'm not sure if it's going to be stackable if I use my 4 and 5-star versions. I could even see if I could put in the 3-star version. I'm not 100% sure whether or not these synergies are stackable. It would be nice if they are, but I think with the way that Kabam does the game, synergies aren't really meant to be stackable in that state that we're going to put them in, but we'll give it a go. What I'm going to be doing is putting together a quick synergy team which is going to exploit a few things with regards to ability accuracy, and that is done through Quake. Now what Quake does is through Shields Agents level 2, but obviously there are different levels. I think it's a level 3, and that's mainly it. Unfortunately, I only have a 3-star. It would be great to have a 4-star or even a 5-star version in order to kind of exploit more of this and see if the synergy really stacks. The way that Kabam does the game, sometimes, actually most of the time, synergies don't stack in the way that you would like. So obviously I'll be trying to get at least 30 plus ability accuracy with a load of Quakes and one Hawkeye for this kind of demo, but I don't think that's how that would play out. But for the purpose of this, I'm trying to improve that percentage on the signature ability. So if it was 25%, well now theoretically it should be up to 37%. In theory, that's how it should work out. Let's see if there is a 37% chance of the hemorrhage actually going in, that 9k damage, which we'd like to see. And I brought a few other things on for the ride. So the reason that I've brought this in is hopefully off the Avengers thing with Hulk and Black Widow to get more of a chance of percentage of stun. So let's hope we see that as well. That'd be nice to see off, say, the back of the constant and consistent L1s. Obviously decent amount of power draining would be fantastic. Now what can I really take away from a long haul fight with Hawkeye? But the first thing, obviously, it was incredibly boring. The fight kind of went on for probably about 10 minutes, and by the end of it I was just like, oh, this needs to stop. It's, you know, certain champions are a little bit more fun and you're kind of like playing about with a few things. The downside is hemorrhage up here, and that it should appear a lot more in the whole kind of like battle, but it doesn't really take away a negative or kind of like bitter taste in my mouth with regards to the champion. I really enjoy and like this champion. I just feel that it's one of these kind of contenders that if he had better armor, he had more applicable stuff with regards to signature ability as well as some of his other stuff. So if we increase the signature ability, rather than it being, say, 1 per fight, it's a 25% chance throughout the fight that it appears. And in the video, we saw that very early on it did trigger up. But obviously, I don't know if that was based on the fact that we had that kind of Quake synergy with that. And would that be something that be stackable with more Quakes? But I guess, like, he is incredibly enjoyable. Like, I do really enjoy the aspect of that power control, that power drain that he does. And that's what makes him one of the more favourite champions in Arena. As well, he can be used quite a bit with regards to standard questing team. But he is kind of like one of these things where he is underrated, but at the same time, he's so underrated and also has like a little bit of a cult following within the community, that he should be a contender to have better stuff being put towards his way. I think that his attack should be increased quite a bit, as well as the armor should be increased a little bit, and maybe they look to change the outfit just a slight. But yeah, great champion. Just wish that he had more going for him and could be used more in different roster. Even like doing some kind of things with regards to what we know from like comic books and what we know from source material and the MCU to be a little bit to a degree where that we look at this focus, like his level of kind of like even he understands like flight of things, and even though his specials do represent that, and the bleeds of course do represent something positive, the bleed should be more intense for this champion, especially being a skill. A lot of skill champions have more intense bleeds than he has, and not to say that they aren't intense, but it would be nice to see them incredibly like intensified. But yeah, I think that they need to kind of give him a little bit of a booster, but all in all, a very underrated and very enjoyable champion. So give your thoughts on Hawkeye in the comments below, as well as what champions do you think are underrated, and we can look at them in a future video. Thanks very much for watching. I've been RichTheMan. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe for more Marvel Contest to Champions based content, and I shall catch you on the flip side. Bye bye for now.